Hello, everyone, and welcome to the future. I'm your host, AFR Steve, and tonight we are taking a journey into space for Planet Flipper. This is the newest game from PLAAY Now, designed by Daryl Durston and published by Play Games. Their first game that has not been designed in-house. So this was a game that was showcased at the latest PLAAY.con and is now available for sale. Just went on sale a week ago. So you can pick up a copy of that. If you like what you see here, there's a link in the show notes down below. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to do a reboxing once we finish the game here, because they did do a really good job with the box, but I wanted to have everything set up first so we can hop right into the action. So I will put the rule booklet off to the side and get right down to business. So in Planet Flipper, you are trying to get a hostile planet into good enough condition that you can then sell it to potential investors. And how you do that, there are 4 of these essential buildings that you need to have completed, that you need to have built and then upgraded to finish, along with also having 8 robots. And we'll show you how all of that works as we get started. The first thing to note is that it does have a variable difficulty with how many of these cargo cards that you can put in. We will definitely be playing on the easy level. One thing I will note, this game is definitely a brain burner for sure. A difficult game, but in a good way. It has lots of really good challenging decisions, and as you can see, there are no dice. So very little luck, which you'll see in the event deck. But how things get started, we're gonna shuffle up our deck of structures here, and we will deal out 5 of them, and one of them is going to be our starting building. Think of it as an upgrade from our company to get us going. And so right away we have a choice to make, because what's going to happen, the ones that you don't upgrade, or the ones you don't decide to take, they're going to get vaporized. So you probably won't get to use them the rest of the game, but you will get a little bit of bonus the ones that you do vaporize. So let's take a look at what the structures are. They're double-sided. They have their regular side, which is the blueprint, and their upgraded side. Off to the left here, it tells you what you need to build them, what resources you need. And then down at the bottom, it tells you what you need to upgrade them. So we'll see some of that, hopefully, in a couple of turns. And then if there's any benefits to the card, it'll tell you here what they do. Some of them you get a bonus immediately. Some of them you'll get it at the beginning of the round. Some don't have an initial benefit. So what we have here, we have a bot bay that makes it cheaper to maintain our robots. That's a good one. An oil refinery. So this is one that we don't get a benefit right away. We do have to upgrade it, and then we'll get some oil at the beginning of each turn. A hydrodome will give us water. A holding zone lets us increase our hand size. That is interesting. And also when it's upgraded, this is one of the ways that you can pull a card from the vaporized pile. And then finally we have a synthesizer, which is interesting because it allows you to build or upgrade cards with less resources. And when it's upgraded, actually you get 2 times, you can get 4 resources for free, essentially. That is interesting. I think what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to take the bot bay. And so that will start on its upgraded side. And what that means is at the end of the turn, we'll have 3 free oil for the bot maintenance. And I'll show you how all that works. But basically, at the end of your turn, every robot that you have needs to have 1 oil spent. And if you don't, you lose the robot. But this will give us 3 free for that. It reduces their maintenance. But then these other ones get vaporized, but when you vaporize them, you get to collect the resource up at the top. So we'll get 1 water, 1 energy, 2 energy, and then this one gives us a choice of oil or metal, and I think we're going to take the oil because that's usually a little more useful early on. All right, and then these go into the vaporized card, maybe never to be seen again. All right, so now that we have that set up, we get to create the main deck. So we'll take those 4 essential buildings, and we're gonna use all 4 cargo cards. That is the easy setting, and then you can make the game harder by having 1 less, 2 less, or you can even try to play it without any cargo cards. But as I said, we are going to be using all of them for our game here tonight. So we will shuffle these together. While I'm doing that, I will say hello to everybody joining me in the chat room tonight. We have Mark, Russell, Bill, and Kraz. Thank you for being AFR members. I appreciate your support. We also have Fade to Gray is in the chat room, and Al Red Sox fan. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the future. And the future is flipping planets for profit. All right, so we have that all set up, and we'll get our initial 4 cards. And then we are all set to go. So what we just did there is what's called the landing phase. There is a handy-dandy reference sheet that pretty much consolidates everything from the rulebook into a handy-dandy double-sided card. So the landing phase is something you will only do once as you're initially landing on the planet. And so we are all set with that, and now we'll go here. And so on the first turn, you will skip the prep phase. There's 3 phases: the prep phase, the action phase, and then the report phase. So we won't see a prep phase until our second turn. So during the action phase, this is where you start building up your planet. And how you do that is just by paying the build cost from the cards here, reducing them on your board, and placing items out onto your tab below. Initially, you can only build 9 cards, but one of the essential buildings, when you upgrade it, it allows you to expand that to 9. All right, so, oh, and I almost forgot, we have a client who will have a couple of special oh gosh, I just lost the word I was thinking of. Requirements that if we meet them, we'll get bonus points at the end of the game. So there are 5 of these. Sorry, there's 4 of these. And we got the newlyweds. So they have 3 special things here. Early move-in, which is a tough one. Fully developing, there's 2 cards, the leveling atmosphere and the temperature gauge, that after you play them and upgrade them, they actually have a 4 different things that you have to go through to fully upgrade it. If we get that done before the oxygen level reaches 4, we get 7 bonus points. Unpacking, if we vaporize all 4 of, or all of my cargo cards before the oxygen level reaches 5, ooh, but that's tough. And then finally stockpiling, if we can ever get 10 of oil, energy, and water at the same time, we'll get 5 bonus points. So we'll keep that in mind. Generally, I only maybe get 1 of the special requirements, just because you'll see very quickly you'll start scrambling just to get things out there. And the timer of the game is your oxygen level. So it starts at 7 at the end of each turn. You move it down 1. And then if at any time you need to move from 1 to 0, the game is over because you've run out of oxygen and you have to leave the planet. Hopefully we won't get to that. So let's see here. We have a storage facility, which allows us to store more of our resources, because right now you'll see that there is a break in the board. So right now everything is at level 1, so we can only have 3 robots, 3 water, etc. once we upgrade, if we put up the storage facility, all of our resources would get upgraded to 6, and then when this card gets upgraded, then we'd be able to carry 10. There is a separate card that allows you to build more robots. So we have that. We have 2 Oasis cards. Now these cards are interesting in that they have no effect. They don't help you with anything other than adding value to the planet, because, you know, if you're going to move to another planet, who doesn't want to live on an oasis? It's worth 5 points on the build side, and then it's worth 12 points on the upgraded side. So if that's something that you can do, that definitely will help you. But for now, we are going to just trade those in. Let's see. What do we... Well, we might as well start getting some robots, since we don't have to worry about paying their upkeep until we get more than 3. So that's one of the actions you can do, is you can trade in any 2 cards into your discard pile, and then that gets you a robot. And now, let's see. So we can't build any either of these cards because we need 2 robots for the storage facility, unfortunately. And we need 6 for the oxygen crop. But this is a great card, because if you play this and upgrade it, you actually gain an extra oxygen, so essentially giving you an extra turn of the game. Let's see. Dave Gardner joins us asking, is Pluto still a planet? Pluto is always a planet in my mind, and if you don't think so, then I don't know what to tell you. That's a tragedy of our time that Pluto got downgraded. All right, so since I can't build either of these, I think I'm actually going to take the resources from them. So if you decide to discard a card, you just collect whatever it says up top there. So we'll get 1 water and then 1 metal. And now when you're out of cards, then you draw 4 more cards, and the round will end whenever you need to draw cards and that deck is empty. All right, so we got 2 new items here to discuss. So the cargo card, you can either discard it to gain any of the 4 resources, or you can vaporize it, which removes it from the for the rest of the game, but you get 3 of any resources. And we also have another thing. If we vaporize all of our cargo cards before the oxygen level reaches 5, we get 4 extra points. But the thing is, the more of these you get rid of, then the less cards you're going to have on future turns, meaning you won't be able to do as much because your turn will end faster. So I'm probably not going to meet their goal of unpacking early. Let's see. And then we have a mining depot, which will give us one metal at the beginning of each prep phase. And then when it's upgraded, you'll actually get 2. I do seem to always be running out of that. Maybe we'll try... So we need to get 1 more robot. And... 1 more oil. All right, so I'll trade these 2 in to get 1 more robot, and then I will trade this in, the holding zone. This allows you to get either an oil or a metal, so we'll trade that in for an oil. And now we will build this. So we need 2 robots, 1 energy, and 2 oil. And when you build something that has a robot requirement, you don't actually spend the robots. It's just that you need to have that many robots in order to build it. All right. So we have a mining depot out, and we'll gain the benefit from that during the beginning of the next round. We'll gain 1 metal. All right. And again, we're out of cards, so we'll draw 4 more. Okay. So... now we have an energy plant and an oil refinery, which allow us to gain energy and oil, respectively. There is a card for each of the resources. The oil refinery is the tougher one because you actually don't gain anything until it is upgraded, but the other 3, you do gain 1 of the resource even when it's not upgraded. Oh, and you'll also see that the bad thing about these is that they're worth negative points until they are upgraded. So if you end the game with these not upgraded, you're actually going to lose points from your final score. We got another cargo card, and then one of our essential cards. You do need to have all 4 of these built and fully upgraded by the end of the game, and have 8 robots in order to successfully complete flipping your planet. So the main base, this allows you, upgrades your robot cap to level 2, and then when it's upgraded, it brings up to level 3. Let's see, do we want to get that out right now? I think we're going to wait on that, because right now we only need the 3. Well, or maybe, alright. Alright, so I'm going to trade those guys in for a robot. Why not? We'll get it right out there. And then we'll trade in the energy plant for an oil. And then we will build our main base. So that'll take 1 water, 1 electricity, and 1 oil. All right, and now our robot cap is up to 6. I draw 4 more cards. All right, so we got the Hydrodome, which is gains you water. One of our other essential buildings, the temperature gauge. So there are 2 of these, the temperature gauge and the leveling atmosphere card, that you play them out, and then when you upgrade them, you have another track that you have to spend a certain number of resources, have a certain number of robots to move it up. And it's not fully upgraded until you move to that 4th spot. Generally, these cards I wait until the last couple turns because they don't give you any benefits other than being able to win the game. Alright, so I will trade that in for a metal. And I will trade, or do I want to try to build that? I guess I do. Alright, so I'll trade in one of these for electricity. And then we'll build a Hydrodome. So we need a water, electricity, and metal. Alright, and then so the defense system is a interesting card because it doesn't do anything when you first build it, but once you upgrade it, it allows you to ignore the effect of an event card. So the event card is, it's about half of them are good for you. I'd say, I think a third of them are neutral, like nothing happens. Or actually, maybe it's the other way around. And then there's some that are really, really bad cards in there. So, but we need to have 4 robots in order to build that. So we will trade that in for now just to get energy. We'll get 4 more cards out. And let's see. So we have another mining depot, which we do not need right now. A storage facility would be nice to get to increase the cap for our resources. So what do I need? I need a water and an oil. All right, so I'll trade that in for a water. And I'll trade that in for an oil. And then that'll allow me to build that because I have 3 robots. I'll spend the 1 water, the energy, oil, and a metal. Alright, so now my resources are at the level 2 cap. And I will trade in this cargo. Let's see. I guess I'll trade in the cargo for an electricity. And then I'll draw cards. There's only 2 left, so I'll draw those, and my last hand here will only be the 2 cards. And then we'll go into the report phase. Let's see, so an energy plant. I don't think I can build anything now. All right, so we will trade that in for an oil, and then this is another one of the essential cards, the Land Foundation. Once you upgrade this, it allows you to then have 9 cards built, and it also allows you to take one of the cards that have been vaporized, one of these structures, and build it and upgrade it for free. So that is a very cool one to do, but we will not be able to get that completed probably for a couple turns, so we'll just trade that in for the metal, and we have reached the end of the action phase. Once you go to draw cards and there are none left, that is the end of the action phase. Now we'll go to the report phase. The first thing that happens is you need to do the upkeep for your robot. So for every robot, you need to spend 1 oil. However, we have our bot bay, which reduces that cost by 3. So our 3 robots are just hanging out in the bot bay, so we don't have to spend anything. We will lose 1 oxygen down to 6. We'll take the discard pile, shuffle that up, make it into the draw pile, and then we are ready for our first prep phase of the game. All right. So the first thing that happens is we draw one of the hopefully not dreaded event cards. All right, and we got a good one. You may spend 3 resources. Anytime you see that gear icon, it just means any resource, to place a vaporized structure into your build grid. Huh. Let's see. So, what is nice about this is it, So if you had a card that's like some of the cards, you need 6 robots to build it. But let's see, we have the holding zone, which would allow us to hold 5 cards at a time. That's interesting. But I'm thinking that the synthesizer is going to be the best one to put out, because it's gonna cost 3 resources, but then we're gonna get 6 essentially free resources from this card to use to upgrade or build other buildings. So I think we will do that. So we'll spend 3 resources, and we'll put 3 cubes on this. So every time we remove a cube, we get 2 free resources to spend on building or upgrading a building. And then you take one of the cubes away. Once the cubes are gone, then the card is empty, but then you can also upgrade it later in the game when we have 7 robots, and then there's 2 spots on the back that give you 4 free upgrades. All right, now we activate any card events that happen. So our mining depot gives us 1 metal during the prep phase, and then we get 1 water from the hydrodome. No other prep phases, and then we draw our 4 cards, and we are ready for the next round. All right, so there you go. So that is how our round works. We're going to keep playing until either we have all the essential buildings built and 8 robots, and we decide to call it a day and leave, or if we reach 0 oxygen. All right, so let's see. Oh, Charles has joined us. Brian is also in the chat room. Let's see, Cleveland baseball fan has joined us as well. Some good discussion about Pluto. That blew my mind when my oldest told me that they learned that Pluto wasn't a planet, and it was like, what do you mean? What? All right, let's see. So we have everything is level 2, so we can start getting some more stuff. Do I want more robots at this point? I think I just want resources right now. So I'll trade that cargo in for, well, let's see what's coming up. I'll get an electricity for that. That will give me a water. This will give me a metal And then... We'll get another electricity, because I'd like to get these ones that generate resources upgraded, because obviously the earlier in the game that you upgrade them, the more benefit you will get from them. All right, so we're out of cards. We'll draw back up to 4. All right, and I'd also like to build the oil generator and then the energy plant. All right, so there's the energy plant. I do have enough to build that right. Oh no, I don't. I need oil, so I'll trade that in for the oil, and now I can build the energy plant. And that cost 1 oil, 2 metal. So now I'll gain 1 energy during the prep phase. And then I'll just trade those in for the resources. So 1 water and 1 oil. Draw back up. All right, and I have to say I'm tempted to build a defense system. Because like I said, there's some cards that are pretty brutal. Especially early in the game. Let's see. I need a water and energy to build it, an energy and oil, and I need 2 bar and 2. I need another robot. All right, so I can't do that this turn. So I'm going to trade that in for an energy. I'll trade that in for a bar. Oh, I might not be able to do it next turn either. So I will need to have... Alright, well, I guess right now I'm going to get the metal and another oil. Draw it back up to 4 cards. Alright. Oh, and there's the oil refinery. Alright, I think I am going to build a defense system. Because the good thing about the defense system is then, when it's upgraded, once you use it, you discard it. So it actually goes back into your draw pile to use again. Okay, so... let's see, or do I want to use that right now? Because then also the other problem is I'm slowly running out of space, and so if I build an oil refinery and a defense system, that maxes out my current land, and I would actually have to build on top of one of these in order to build something else. Because the other thing I need is the founding building to upgrade this, so I can have 3 more cards out. All right, so I guess we're gonna live life on the wild side and not build a defense system this turn. I'll turn that in for an energy. Let's see. So the oil refinery cost me a water, an energy, and a oil. And then I need 3 water and 2 energy to upgrade. All right, so I'm not going to be able to do that now. So I'll trade those in for the resources. That gives me another metal and another oil. Ooh, and I am not going to get that 3rd water to upgrade. Oh, darn. All right, well, that didn't work out well. All right, well, let's, before we end our turn, see if we can upgrade a couple of these items. It looks like we're only going to be able to upgrade 1 of them. I think we're going to upgrade our mining depot. That costs us 2 water, an energy, and then 2 random or any 2 resources. I'm going to spend my 2 oil, since we still only have 3 robots, so I don't have to worry about maintaining them. And I'm going to build the land foundation. That costs, I need 3 robots, which I have, and then 2 metal. And then I'll trade in the holding zone for another metal. Oh, and I forgot to flip over the mining depot when I upgraded it. All right, we're out of cards. We have nothing to draw, so we go to the report phase. We still only have 3 robots. We don't have to spend any oil. We'll reduce the oxygen down to 5. And there we go. It looks like everyone's agreeing with me about Pluto. So, all right, so here we go. Going back to the next prep phase, we'll flip the event over, and oh, and it's flooding. Which actually is not going to affect us because it's for every 2 water we have stored, we'd have to discard a structure from your build grid. Wow. But fortunately for us, we have no water. So, that's just a minor example of how a bad event can come out. If we had been stockpiled, say if we had had 6, we would actually lose 3 of our buildings out here in the build grid. But fortunately for us, we did not have any excess water. All right, so activate card effects. So we're going to gain 2 metal from our upgraded mine depot, 1 water from the hydrodome, and 1 energy. And we do not gain anything from the refinery because we haven't upgraded it yet, unfortunately. All right, and then we will draw our 4 cards. And away we go. All right, so definitely need to upgrade the land foundation this turn. So we're going to need 2 more robots. And we have the 2 metal and 2 energy. So we could just, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to trade in these 2 for a robot, and then we'll trade in these 2 for a robot. And so now we have 5. We'll spend the 2 metal and the 2 energy. And our land foundation is complete. So now we can have 3 more cards out in our building grid. And we get to take one of the vaporized cards and build it and upgrade it for free. So, well, that is interesting. I'm tempted to get the refinery, and then we could just build over that. Although then that would sort of waste that that refinery. Well, I guess until I upgrade it. The other thing we get, the holding zone, allows us. Actually, that might be a good one to do. Because then we can flip this over back to its build side to take one of these 2 cards remaining. All right, yeah, I think we will do that. So we'll have the holding zone out. We'll draw our 4 cards. And now what's going to happen with the holding zone, oh, and that is off the screen. There we go. So what happens with the holding zone is you can refill your hand while you still have 1 card left in your hand, and now you have a maximum hand size of 5. So the next time we go to draw, we don't have to burn all the cards in our hand first, and then we can draw 4 cards to be holding 5 at a time. All right. We need to get the oil refinery upgraded because now we will need to start paying for our excess robots. So I'll trade that cargo in for a water. And I guess I will just trade, well, let's see. No, I don't really need to keep any of these for anything, so I'll trade those in to get 3 oil. I'll draw my 4 cards. Alright, so now I'll trade that mining depot in for a water. And I'm going to upgrade the oil refinery. I'll spend the 3 water, and then I'm going to use one of the cubes off the synthesizer for the 2 energy cost. So the oil refinery is built. Now I'll gain 2 oil every turn, or every prep phase. Oh, and also additionally, one of the nice things once you upgrade the resource gaining cards is at any time you can flip them back over to immediately gain 3 of its resource. So that could come in really handy as you get towards the end of the game. And things start getting a little touch and go. All right, but we're not doing too bad here. Let's see. I would like to upgrade the hydrodome and the energy plant. Let's work on those. So I'll trade that in for a water, and then that will allow me to upgrade the hydrodome because I'll need 1 water, 1 energy, and 1 metal. So now the hydrodome updated. So I'll gain 2 water during the prep phase. So now the only resource we're only gaining 1 of is electricity. Let's see. And I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna discard that for an energy, and then I'll use another block from the synthesizer for the 2 water. I'll spend 1 energy and then 2 metal, and now our energy plant is fully up and running. All right. So this time I am going to hang on to this card, so I'll draw 4. Which will still take us to the end of the round, unfortunately. Let's see. Well, I guess it's not going to really make sense to build anything right now, because we're not. I don't think we're going to meet any of the goals from our newlywed clients. They were a little bit out of our reach. Well, so we've already missed the unpacking and the early move-in. We'd have to play both the temperature gauge and the leveling atmosphere and fully upgrade them, which we are just not going to be able to do. So, sorry, newlyweds. All right, so let's see. Do I want to? I don't think I want to upgrade or get any more robots at this point. So we're just going to get resources right now, and then try to have a big next round. I'll trade that in for a metal, and then I'll trade that in for an oil, I guess. All right, so report phase. We have more than 3 robots now, so we will have to pay 2 oil to maintain the excess robots. We'll drop the oxygen down to 4. Shuffle the resource deck and get ready for the next turn. Turns will start going faster as you get towards the end of the game because you'll have less cards to go through. All right. So, prep phase. We'll flip over the next event card, and oh, and we get system clear. Your planet is peaceful for now. All right. So, I want to say that there's 6 of these in the event deck. So generally you'll be okay. We're getting really lucky not getting any of the bad ones. We'll gain all of our resources. So now we're going to get 2 of each thanks to our upgraded structures. All right, and then we'll draw our 4 cards. Okay. Well, let's see. do I want to try to make a run at getting these guys built? All right, so we'll need, I'm going to trade those 2 cargoes in to make a robot. Actually, don't take back these. I'm going to all right, I forgot the temperature gauge only needs 5 robots. So we're going to do that first to upgrade. So 2 water, energy, and 2 oil. And then now we're going to immediately upgrade it with an oil and a metal. I'll put one of these cubes on here to show us where we are. All right, so to get to the next step, it's just 2 resources. And I guess we'll spend the last from the synthesizer to move up there. The next one, 3 robots, which we have, and any 2 resources. So let's see, we'll spend 1 water and 1 energy. And then the last one is 3 robots and 3 metal, which we only have 2, so we'll trade in a cargo to get that 3rd metal. And then spend them right away, and there we go. We have a fully upgraded temperature gauge. So we're halfway to completing our mission, but remember we also do have to have 8 robots. So at some point we're going to have to upgrade the main base and then also build 3 more robots. All right. So I think for now, let's see, what would we need to upgrade? 2 and 2. We'll turn that cargo into a metal and then get a water from there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see, can we get 1 more? Oh, we can't, darn. I'm going to trade that in for an oil. Do want to build an oasis. That might be like a last turn thing, because you get no game benefit from it until the very end, where it upgrades your point value. As D. Scott Howard joins us. Welcome, Scott. Thanks for tuning in. We're about halfway through flipping our planet here, and we're not doing too bad. The event deck has been kind to us so far. Let's see. I think I'm going to trade those two in for a 6 robots, and then we'll get the oil from that. All right. So we have the water. Oh, we need 2 energy. That's a bummer. Alright, we'll trade that in for an oil. Because now we're going to have to spend 3 oil at the end of each round. Because we have 6 robots. Let's see, I will trade that in for a metal. I'll trade that in for an energy. Now, do I want to build the oxygen crop and potentially give us an extra turn? Let's see, actually, could I do that right now? Oh, no, I'd need 1. Oh, well, I'm going to hold on to this, and I will refill my hand because of having the holding zone. That might be better than upgrading the main base right now. All right, let's go for it. Actually, where do I? Yeah, I think I'm gonna build on here because I need to save that spot for my last essential structure. So it'll cost 1 water, 1 energy, 1 oil, 1 bar to build. And then to upgrade, I'll need 1 more. So I'll trade that in for a metal, and then cost an oil and 2 metal to upgrade. And there we go. When this card is upgraded, increase your oxygen level by 1. So we're back up to 5. And at the end of the game, so its value right now is 4, but it increases by 2 for every remaining level of oxygen. So potentially, we can get some bonus points from that. All right, and all right, I'll trade the Oasis in for an oil. Oh, and I'm not going to be able to build the defense system. I'm really pushing here, but I'll trade it in just to get the energy. All right, so end of the turn. End of the action phase, I should say. Report phase, so now we have to spend 3 oil for our robots, which we do. The oxygen level goes back down to 4. We'll shuffle up the cards and get ready for the next prep phase. All right, things have been going fairly well. As we're getting closer to the end of the game, the scoring is the value of the cards here, and in the book it says that you're looking to get over 30. That means that you break even for your investment, and under 30 is considered you're losing money. So right now, just to let you know where we are, we have let's see, 6, 10, 11, 15, 19. We only have 23. So, well, actually, I guess with that would add 8 to our value if we end it on 4. So we actually would be making a profit, but we still have 1. We have to upgrade this card, and we have to build another essential card and fully upgrade it and get 2 more robots. All right, so our event this turn. Oh, it's another system to clear. All right, the universe is on our side tonight karmically. Let's gain our resources. Everything is still fully upgraded, so we'll gain 2 of everything. And we'll draw our 4 cards and be on our way. All right, so we can see that the next card coming up is that leveling atmosphere. I guess we'll upgrade the main base. Because what do we need to get that down? 2 water and 2 metal. All right, so I will trade those 2 cargoes in to get 2 metal. And then, oh, and actually, did I not move that one up during my prep? I feel like I should have 1 more. Oh well, I didn't catch it. And then I will upgrade this. So it's I need 6 robots, which I have. 1 water, 2 electricity, and 2 metal. So our main base is now upgraded. So now our robot capacity is at level 3. And we can build those last 2 robots, which is another win condition. Let's see. I will trade that cargo in for a metal bar, and well, let's draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's build our leveling atmosphere. That's going to cost us 2 water and 2 metal. And then, let's see. We're not going to be able to, well, I'll trade that in for a water. And we need 1 more energy. I'm going to need one more water to upgrade that card. I'll trade in the Oasis for a oil and then draw back up to 3, 4. Alright, so there we got traded in the mining depot for a water. Now we'll be able to upgrade this to water, 2 energy, and we have the 6 robots, so we'll flip that over. Alright, let's see. So this one needs lots of water. So we might vaporize our first cargo. And then I might have to flip over. Alright, so I'll trade that in for power. Oh, and then I also still need to get 2 more robots. Alright, trading the Oasis for an oil. And I'll get a... Well, actually, is there any... I guess I'll trade those both in for oil. And then draw my last card, which is a cargo. Let's see, I'm not going to be able to fully upgrade that. Alright, so I'm going to vaporize this cargo card and get 3 water from it. And then I will spend 1 to move here. Need 4 robots, 1 water, and 1 energy to get there. And then I'll only have 1 more upgrade to go to meet the win condition, and then we need to build 2 more robots. Alright, so end of our action phase. We have 6 robots, so we need to spend 3 oil to keep them all. Move the oxygen down to 3. Starting to get a little lightheaded. Shuffle up the cards and see how we do on our next turn. Alright, our next event card is another systems clear. Ooh. Alright. I am using up my galactic goodwill on those. We'll gain our 2 resources for each one. And I'll draw my 4 cards. And away we go. Alright, let's see. I'll trade in the mining depot for a water. And then we need 1 more electricity. I'll trade in the defense system for electricity, and there we go. So 4 water, 3 electricity, and 6 robots, yeah. And that is all fully upgraded. And we'll trade in these 2 for a robot. Draw our next 4 cards. Okay, so this could be interesting. Because I'd like to build an Oasis and then upgrade it before I decide to end the game. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to trade that in for electricity and a water. I'm going to vaporize this cargo card for... let's see. I will get 1 water, 1 electricity, and 1 metal. And then I'm going to flip. Well, let's see. Before I do that, I guess actually I can draw. All right. So I will vaporize another cargo card to get 3 water. 1, 2, 3. And now I can build the oasis, and I'm gonna, well, let's see. Yeah, first I'm gonna flip over the hydrodome to gain 3 water. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna build the oasis on top of the hydrodome. That will cost me 3 water. And 3 of any other resource. So I'll use 3 oil. 1, 2, 3. And now to upgrade it, I need, oh, I need that 8th robot. Uh-oh, did I mess this up? Because I'll need to trade those 2 in to get the 8th robot. Let's see, do I have, oh, well, all right, so I'm going to have to flip that over. So I'll lose the 4 points, but it'll definitely be worth it to gain 3 energy. All right, so I've got 8 robots, 3 water, 1, 2, 3, 3 energy, and 3 metal. And we have an upgraded oasis, which is worth 12 points. And we are gonna not push our luck and take another turn. And there we go. So the game ends as soon as you meet your victory conditions. And you decide you don't want to keep pushing on. Now, I could take another turn, maybe try to build another oasis somewhere, upgrade that plan again. But I'm gonna call it a day. Well, actually, can I flip this? Oh no, I'd need 2 metal, and then okay, all right. So, unfortunately, our newlywed clients, we did not meet any of their punch list items, so we don't get any bonus points from there, but we got 3, 6, 18, 22, 26, and then because of the bonus for this, 28, 30, 32. So there we go. We won. We made a little bit of a profit with 32 points, and that is Planet Flipper. All right. And I'm just curious, what was the next event? Oh, the next event card was the Systems Clear. Wow. All right. So that is the game. I do want to show you, I'll call this a reverse boxing, to show you how everything goes back into the box. So we'll gather all of our cards, and I just need to separate the essentials and the cargo cards to be ready for your next game. And here is the box. So as you can see, this is by far the coolest insert that has been made. Comes with a little baggie for your cubes and your tokens, and they will fit in here, and then all of your cards will go in the other side. Like so. And as you can see, there is plenty of room for potential expansions. And then we'll close the box up. And this is a PLAAY Now product, so we have our nice slip box cover. I'll go over it, and there you have it, folks. Planet Flipper. All right, we'll go back up top. First off, that was only the 3rd time that I've actually won a game. It seems at first like fairly straightforward, but once you start getting into it, A lot of really fantastic decision points, and a lot of fun. A very difficult game to get through. As I said, that's only the third time I've actually had a winning game, and really excited for this game. And I hope that it does well. If you like what you saw here, as I said at the top of the show, it is available for sale right now over on the PLAAY Now website. Link down below in the show notes. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I'd be interested if anybody has actually played it themselves yet, if what your high score has been. Actually, as I was setting up the show tonight, I played through a practice game, and I managed to get, I think it was 42 is my highest, but I've had a lot of games where I've run out of oxygen before I got everything upgraded. So there you go, folks. Planet Flipper out now. That's going to be it for tonight. I should be back on with you this Wednesday. We'll get some baseball back on the table. But until then, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a fantastic evening. My name's Steve. Get out there, have fun, play games, and I will see you after further review. Have a good night, everybody.